Colorado is second only to DC in its concentration of federalism.
I moved here 11 years ago, and this state was red. So it must have been within the last, no wonder we turned blue. Okay, there was another question?
I'm right in that I'm the People's Republican from the People's Republic.
And I live on the southern part of Larimer County, just west of Berkeley, out in the country with my wife. And we had 3 kids there, but one of them got married, so there are only 2 left at home.
Any other questions?
Can I get both of your opinions on the TSA?
TSA.
Yeah, Transportation Security Administration? Yeah.
Well, some of the news in the last couple of days leads you to believe that they need to improve their screening. But this is really about I know that they can know that I'm not a veteran, yet I still go through it. And by the way, I always try to remember to smile when I'm doing this, which is the naked scanner for those of you guys who don't fly a lot. I think a smile is what I can add to that. This is a case of a lack of common sense. I was in Israel in December, and the emphasis on security there is who are the people coming through and what are their intentions. They screen the stuff for sure. They absolutely screen the stuff for sure. But it's really about the people, what are their intentions, who's suspicious, where have they been. Let's not get a quota of people who pose very low risk. We really just need to bring common sense to this process. Did that answer your question about the TSA?
Last year, one of the bills I ran was aimed at a little more transparency on the part of the TSA. I agree with Eric. We simply need to put some common sense into it and some transparency. The TSA shouldn't be that, that big government bureaucracy that when you walk into their area, you dare not even look crosswise or you might get in trouble. That's kind of nuts in a free society. Anyway, my bill simply said this. In Colorado, you must post, the TSA must post whenever there's a security system in place. And actually it would apply to all security systems, all metal detection type systems or other electronic type of surveillance of citizens. Tell us what it is, tell us what it does, tell us what our rights are to refuse it, and what the consequence will be. And unfortunately, the system rose up and got the bill killed. But that just a simple step like that, they can't even have the common sense to do it. And I said it cost too much. Yeah, I said, right, you can put it on an 8.5 sheet of paper and tape it to the wall. I just want to know, what are my rights and what are you doing?
How does that physical? We've got to eliminate some of that. So
Well,
that's really great.
it's just the first step.
I can put online, I am no threat. It's time that it's no longer PC and they start profiling.
You're right.
As Israel does, and that's why they don't have this problem.
Down in Texas, there actually was a measure that went. Down in Texas, there actually was a measure that the legislature was moving forward with that put a little more teeth in it. And frankly, that one got killed. We don't have enough time at all to tell you about the particulars there. But just to take the first teeny tiny step was shut down. The question was, what do I think? I think it needs to be changed, and I'm trying to do what I can. And when we get to Washington, we can make more substantial changes.
Thank you both very much for coming tonight. We've got 2 great candidates.
Sorry, I have to split too.
Okay. State House candidates. We have a lot of State House candidates here tonight. And we're going to start with HD1, James, Will, and John Kidd. John, come on up.
Hi, everyone. First and foremost, my name is John Kidd. I'm a resident of Southwest Denver, right on the Denver County line, the Jefferson County line, so I tend to spend more time with my neighbors because of that. It's a little friendlier there. The district I'm in, it's essentially a very pro-Democrat, been controlled by the Democrats for several election cycles over the past few years. Personally, I've gotten into this race because essentially I've seen too much just foolishness from our current representative. She keeps voting on legislation that is anti-business. She's essentially driving companies out of our state, going to tax-friendly and incentive-friendly states neighboring us. She's essentially set herself up as a queen of House District 1, the way she presents herself, that she knows what's best for everyone without asking anyone. The 2010, I was able to go door to door during the election at that time and essentially work several precincts to ask the people, what's going on, how do you feel? And surprisingly enough, most of them say, I don't even know what she does for me because I've never met her. She doesn't answer any questions, and when I try to schedule an appointment with her, she won't respond. So even at community meetings, we've seen that lack of representation, and that's why I'm running. And I want to get in House District 1, be able to represent the people, not only the people in Southwest Denver, but also all up in the northern part of the district, and be able to bring common sense back to the House of Representatives in House District 1.
I'm James Wilt, and I'm running for House District 1. Interesting way, what I decided, the way I came to decide was, first my wife said, quit yelling at the TV, and I was yelling at the news. But also I spent 3 nights praying, trying to decide whether or not I was doing it for my own interest or for the public. And after that, the next day I went down to the Secretary of State's office and filed. Now, I see the big problem as, well, first, my family goes back 120 years here. We were here before Denver was officially the capital. And I've been here 60 years. I've been in House District 40 years. I've been a Republican 36 years. So this is not something new here. And the gentleman who said it doesn't take an economist to understand it. Well, if it does, I am. My master's thesis at DU was paid for by the Federal Home Loan Bank. That's the friendly people who used to make your home loans, and you had your passport. Actually, there was a savings loan, Mile High, used to be down in Littleton, and if any of you had a savings account there, I very possibly was one of the guys who was filling in the teller, took the money, and stamped your passport, for you who can still remember what a passport is. But the Federal Home Loan Bank paid for my master's degree because I developed a model to get a balanced budget in the area in relation to interest rates and homes. And as a result, it worked. Well, it was only 94.6% accurate, so, but that was a 5-year lead time. They used it for the next 10 years. And during those next 10 years, we had economic growth. After that, the Federal Home Loan Bank was put in Federal Reserve. And we can all know what happens there. The Federal Home Loan Bank does not manufacture money. The Federal Reserve does. So when someone says it doesn't take the economist, a while back, Hickenlooper had a little thing, see if you can balance the state budget. It took me an hour and a half, and my typing isn't that good. The one thing I request to spend money on is a chainsaw. Start working on DORA and their regulations. I got my hair cut today, and the guy has a license and was so proud of it because he went through DORA. If he messed it up, I wouldn't go back to him again. It's very simple. You do not need to have a stack of regulations for a barber. So let's start a chainsaw and let's eliminate about 90% of that nonsense. And then we can begin, and that will do wonders for business. So that's where I am. I'm coming from is, and when we